The West Wing was evacuated on Sunday after a bag of white powder was discovered in the White House. The evacuation was brief, however, after officials remembered that Hunter Biden doesn't snort anthrax, as far as we know. The white powder turned out to be nothing more than a first son favorite booger sugar. You know what I'm talking about? Some Colombian nose candy, if you catch my drift. A little Yale College baking soda, if you can infer my meaning. I'm talking about Coke, which means that since the president's infamously unrepentant dirtbag of a son had been visiting the White House that very weekend, a lot of people came to conclusions about how the cocaine got there. MSNBC, however, is shocked.
And turning to some breaking news, we have just learned that a formal lab has confirmed the suspicion that that white powdery substance found in the West Wing on Sunday was in fact positive for cocaine. The discovery led to a brief evacuation of the White House Sunday night. Joining us now is NBC White House correspondent Mike Memoli. So Mike, where do things stand now? This is so unusual. You and I have covered the White House for years. I can't even fathom anything like this having been found before in the West Wing, and I go back to the 70s at the White House. So this is pretty wild.
It's absolutely extraordinary, Andrea. And this new conclusive test confirms what had been the preliminary field test conducted by D.C. fire personnel who were called in on Sunday night after the discovery of this suspicious substance by a uniformed officer in the Secret Service that was conducting a routine patrol of the White House. And so to recap on the developments that we've been reporting on yesterday, this was found, we understand, in a highly trafficked common area of the West Wing. It's an area where individuals, especially visitors, individuals who may be coming for instance, a private tour.
Yeah, but it's hard to fathom. We just don't know how on earth cocaine made its way into the Biden White House. Who knows? Who knows? Not to be outdone in implausibility, a law enforcement official has gone on record to say that the cocaine culprit is unlikely ever to be found. Because, put the first son aside for a second, because the culprit, whoever he is, in any case, is a friend of Joe Biden. The only people who make it into the West Wing these days are friends and allies of Joe Biden and the Democrats. And Democrat criminals, generally speaking, with very few exceptions, don't face consequences because they don't get charged, because they don't get arrested, because they're usually not even investigated. Right now, go to cinch.com, use promo code Knowles. A lot of family gatherings lined up. The last thing that you need when hosting is turning on the grill and finding out that you're out of propane. That is where our friends at Cinch come in. Cinch is a propane grill tank home delivery service. They deliver propane tanks right to your door on your schedule and do not require any long-term commitment or subscription. Plus, delivery is completely contactless. You don't have to wait around at home. Track the order on the Cinch app from anywhere. I remember as a kid, I used to be kind of nervous when we'd go pick up the propane tank and be in the car, so don't make any sudden moves. If we don't get hit here, I don't want to go up in a ball of flames. Well, I really like the idea. You just order it, pre-order it, super simple on your phone, just shows up at your door. You don't need to worry about it. The perfect summer night would not be complete without Cinch. Go online to cinch.com or download the Cinch app to order. New customers get their first tank exchange for just $10 with promo code Knowles. Cinch.com or download the Cinch app. Use promo code Knowles to get your first tank exchange for just $10. This is a limited time offer. You must live within a Cinch service area to redeem it. Go to cinch.com/offer for details. Right now, go to genucel.com/Knowles. Our friends over at Genucel sold out of their dark spot corrector, and our listeners have been begging for a restock, begging on their hands and knees. Well, I've got great news. Just in time for the summer, it's back. Genucel's famous dark spot corrector has not one but 3 cutting-edge ingredients and goes to work fast to target sunspots, dark spots, liver spots, and even old discoloration, both on your face and your hands. You can now enjoy your summer sun, beach, and barbecues without embarrassing spots. Genucel's most popular package also features their summer essentials, such as the best-selling Ultra Retinol Moisturizer with a powerful retinol alternative for safe use in the sun. You'll be amazed at how quickly you will see results, or 100% of your money goes back, guaranteed. Go to genucel.com/Knowles right now Get your dark spot corrector in the Genucel most popular package. That is Genucel.com/Knowles right now. Save over 70% off Genucel's most popular package. All orders will include a mystery luxury gift while supplies last. Genucel.com/Knowles. Great news that is not being reported very much about our political order. This is such great news. It's not a sexy issue like a beer company going woke or something, so people aren't talking, but this is such a big win for conservatives. The Northeast of America, which has been the dominant economic leader, the powerhouse of America for, I don't know, about as long as I can remember, is no longer the main driver of the American economy. Do you know which region is? The South. The liberal Northeast region has lost its economic dominance. The conservative region, the South, has taken it. Why is that? Because people are leaving the Northeast, because the Northeast has become unlivable, very difficult with stupid regulations and stupid taxes and stupid social policies, especially the stupid social policies. And they're moving to the South, which is not only freer economically, but perhaps more importantly, it's still an ordered society. It's still a normal place where you can live a normal life. And I know all we ever talk about is how, well, we've got lower taxes here, or, hey, we've got fewer regulations, so it's easier to do business. And that's true. And those were big motivating factors that got a lot of us conservatives, myself included, to leave liberal places and to move here to Tennessee or Texas or Georgia or Florida or these other places too. But more than that, it's the social stuff. When people ask me, hey, Michael, how do you like Tennessee? I say, I love Tennessee. They said, do you plan to stay there? I totally plan to stay here. Why is that? I don't say because I have a little bit more money, which I do. I do have a little bit more money here because there's no state income tax. What I always say is because I can raise a family here, because it's a nice, normal place to live, because I love my neighbors, because there's a community here, because I love my parish, because it's normal here. And people smile and are nice and talk about things in a normal way. And it turns out that normality and living in accordance with reality is good for business too. We conservatives, we fall for the same economics exaltation that the leftists and even that the Marxists do. The Marxists' primary mistake was viewing man as essentially an economic creature. But man is not essentially an economic creature. Man is made in the image and likeness of God, and there's a lot more to life than money. So we want a good economy, but we want that good economy in service of a good society and a good life. You don't want to put the cart before the horse. And when you think about economics first, things are going to get out of whack. You see this not only on the left, but even on the right. When conservatives try to avoid the social issues and they just wanted to talk about occupational licensing reform or whatever, then we lost all of our power and society spun totally out of control. What we have learned, I think, in the last 10 years, especially on the right, is that social issues are economic issues. You're not going to fix the economic problem by having a social truce or anything like that. The social issues, do we respect life? Do we know what marriage is? Do we support families? Do we support growing families and growing the next generation? Do we recognize borders and the distinction between a citizenry and foreign peoples? If we don't do that, then you can have all the economic tinkering in the world. It's not going to fix your society. Things are going to continue to degrade. So now, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, my state of Tennessee, and Texas, which is all my exes, that's where all my exes live, they have economically overtaken Boston, New York City, Washington, D.C., the Northeast, according to Bloomberg. The population in the Southeast grew by 2.2 million people in the last 2 years. It's the same consolation that we were just talking about with Bud Light. Bad systems can't go on forever. Political orders always change. And conservatives used to not like that last part of it because we used to want to believe, hey, look, the America of 1958, that has to go on forever. The America, not even of 1778, not even of 1888, but of mid-1950s America, that is the eternal political order. It has to go on forever, and any deviation from that whatsoever is awful and terrible and a violation of everything we hold dear. And we used to lament when the left would tell us, well, that's not how politics works. Things change all the time. We say, no, we don't want it to change. We want it to remain exactly the same. Well, yeah, it's very sad to know that political orders always have to change when things are good. But when things are bad and decadent and corrupted, as they are right now, then it's a great consolation and hope to know that political orders, none of them, not the best one, not the worst one, none of them go on forever. And also, money talks and BS walks. And so as the South, as the conservative part of the country, gains more economic power, the South is going to be able to throw its political weight around a little bit more than we have in the past, just as the liberal Northeast was able to throw its political weight around and dominate the country for the last 100 years. Boy, what a great clip that was, huh? Make sure that you subscribe. Ring that bell here at the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.